Papis.
Welcome to another episode of the Cine Papis Podcast. Eddin Martinez, Jaime Fernandez, and Juan Bago. We are your Cine Papis every single Monday, and I'm feeling, Mike is not going to like this, desperate.
Oh. Do you mean...
Desperate for movies. Desperate for films. Desperate for revenge. For
so
love.
Like kind of like Desperado?
Yeah. Is that really? You actually didn't know? You didn't know?
Mike, Spanish is not...
Mike didn't see the movie.
I'm not good with Spanish.
No, papi, no.
My English, my Spanish, you know.
No good, papi.
Yeah.
How you guys feeling?
Feeling great. Feeling like a mariachi.
I think we could. I feel like we wouldn't be
That's
a bad...
the first version of it.
Yeah, that is the first one. Yeah.
That's me with heartburn. Like, I got mariachi.
I don't think we would be a bad mariachi brand. Like, who would be... What would we play? I think I could do good bass if needed.
I think I could be...
Guitarist? Vocal?
No instruments. I'd have to just shout out the lyrics.
You know how Boyz II Men had that guy that's just with the deep voice? Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Like that's me.
Do they have that in mariachi bands?
Yeah. I don't think that's...
We should have like that.
Yeah.
The low-key R&B voice in the mariachi band.
Yeah. We'll have Jonathan play bass for us.
Orale, what's up, baby?
Yeah.
Hey, baby.
Oye, chica.
I saw you at the discoteca.
Guys, I just want to say that this week we're doing our first Robert Rodriguez film.
Wow.
Yes.
We're doing Desperado from 1995, starring not only Antonio Banderas, but Salma Hayek, too.
Shit, I was barely born.
How old were you in 1995?
One, I think, or maybe two.
In 1995?
Yeah.
He
You
still
were
had
two?
that beard. He still had that beard at 2.
How old were you in 1995?
We'll talk about it later.
He could have done some background acting in the actual movie. That's how old he was.
I was actually 1 year old at that time.
What? That's
Yes.
so cute. So you didn't get to see it when it came out in the
No,
theater.
I was going to just say, I love that this is our first Robert Rodriguez film. I don't know if you guys have seen before. If you go to youtube.com/Cine Papis, you can see our set. We're here taping in the lovely Need to Know Studios. But we have Machete here, who is part of the Robert Rodriguez universe.
And shout out to Robert Rodriguez. I mean, if you don't know, he's one of the most prolific, mostly action directors, but he also he's done sci-fi, he's done other stuff. The Faculty was kind of horror, sci-fi, and then From Dusk Till Dawn was kind of horror, action. You know what I mean? He's very prolific, and he's also known for doing movies on a cheap budget.
Yeah.
His first movie, right?
El Mariachi, yeah. So it's funny because I love that we're doing this movie. We'll maybe do El Mariachi in the future. But El Mariachi is basically, I guess, the source of Desperado, where he did this movie in like around, what was it, a $5,000 budget? Mm-hmm. When he did El Mariachi, I read the book called Rebel Without a Crew. Son of Rebel Without a Cause, where he literally gave his own blood and like did a lot of like experiments and stuff to even get this film done, to get it properly funded. He was working at a local channel and was even doing all his editing there. He was trying to find every frugal way to make this movie done. And now he's a gentleman who has so many in his belt right now, so many movies in his belt. And we're doing Desperado today. But I'm going to just say the reason why I was asking about the age and stuff like that is because the first movie I watched from Robert Rodriguez wasn't Desperado. It wasn't like Machete. It wasn't. It was Spy Kids.
Oh, right.
I was very much a Spy Kids kid, and he made 3 of them, Johns. So it's kind of funny that we're doing Desperado now and seeing Antonio Banderas in this movie in a whole different role.
So you were just like, oh wait, the guy that does family films also does violent mariachi films.
It's funny when I think when I was a teenager and I was reading that book and I'm realizing, oh, this is all the same dude, is the craziest thing to me. Mm-hmm. It was the craziest thing to me. Even though I've seen Antonio Banderas in different scopes. But yeah, let's get a little bit into Desperado. Particular scenes of the movie, the plot of the movie. Jamie, what do you got for us today?
Again, when this movie pretty much asks, what do you get when you have prime sexy Banderas, prime sexy Salma Hayek, and
prime sexy Cheech Marin too.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
Definitely.
And young Steve Buscemi, by the way. Go ahead.
Steve Buscemi, scene stealing as always, and you actually give Robert Rodriguez more than $5,000 to make a movie. Mm-hmm. You get Desperado. This is basically Robert Rodriguez unleashed. You know, he actually got a little checkbook for this, and you see everything that he did in El Mariachi amped up, like the gunfights, right? It's sort of like a ballet the way the gunfights are shot in this movie, and we meet Antonio Banderas. through sort of like the first opening scene is with Steve Buscemi, and he walks into a bar. This is very Tarantino-esque, which is not this is not like by accident. They're like good friends, and I'm sure Tarantino has a cameo in this acting wise.
He does,
which people are not always crazy when he acts, but and so I'm sure there's conversations about style and music cues between them. But this first scene sets up who Antonio Banderas is, and like Buscemi tells a story to these people in this bar. Cheech Marin's the bartender in this, and basically describing Antonio Banderas as this sort of like really larger than life character who walked into the bar and just started asking questions about this guy called El Bucho. And
can I just say one thing? Yeah. When I was watching the movie, I thought that Steve Buscemi at the moment was just mispronouncing it Bicho. Just putting it out there, because Bucho, I'm like, what kind of...
Well, he first says like bitch or Bucho, and then when he says Bucho, everybody's like, what? Bucho? And this is really shot like in very stylistic Robert Rodriguez style. He's saying the story of when, and you see through flashback, or probably exaggerated flashback, Banderas walks into the bar. You only see his silhouette. You see his like long flowing hair. You kind of see his face in and out. And then you see like the first action scene of the movie, which is a gunfight in this bar. And again, you're like immediately brought into this world of this is what Robert Rodriguez does. And I feel like this was his sort of coming out party to like regular, mainstream. Yeah, mainstream.
Like, I got the budget, motherfuckers. Yeah. Check this out.
And he's showing off.
Yeah.
So great opening scene. We cut to then sort of the opening credits, and it's a nice little musical number, right? Where Banderas and his boys, and they're sort of singing this song.
Is that his voice?
I think so. It
yes,
does sound like
I do think he performs this song, even though we talked about it in pre-production about the fact that Los Lobos was the one that really originally does El Mariachi song.
Right.
But I think he does actually perform it. If you go on YouTube, it says like Antonio Banderas and Los Lobos.
I didn't know his voice was...
So the Los Lobos is definitely the band behind it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Los Lobos. If you don't like, they were behind La Bamba. All the songs of La Bamba was not Lou Diamond Phillips. It was Los Lobos.
Ah, shit.
So that's the Facts and Furious. That's the Facts and Furious. Yeah. But and so so we have this musical number, very cool. But then at the end of the musical number, you see like something strange. You see like a guy. A shady looking guy come out the crowd. Banderas is distracted. Then it immediately cuts to Banderas with a woman who looks like she's just a dead woman, who ends up being like
a dead woman.
The woman, the woman that he loved. And you find out that obviously when you see this flashback, it's like, oh, I guess she was murdered. And then that same white person in the white suit is looking back at Banderas, is about to shoot him, and Banderas wakes up. It was a nightmare.
Oh.
And the reality is that we find out that this mariachi that Banderas is playing, he's hunting down this Bucho character who's a drug lord. And again, he thinks this is the drug lord that murdered the woman that he loves. And he is just dead set on getting revenge. This is a theme in Rodriguez movies, and a lot of these action movies nowadays, revenge, right? Mm-hmm. We're trying to get the people that fucked us over, that either killed the people that we love, or, even if going to John Wick, killed your dog or some shit. So this is the rest of this movie. He is hell-bent on looking for this guy. And allegedly, this is the final person that he has to kill. He's been killing mad people to get to Bucho. And, Buscemi, we find out Buscemi is like Banderas' boy, one of his best friends. But he's like, yo, I'm tired of you fucking like mowing down people like this. This really isn't you. And then Banderas is like, this is the last one. El Bucho is the last one. And so it's like, okay, Puss in Boots. And good to know. And so, again, this movie moves fast. So, because we already find this out. And he ends up going to the bar that Buscemi was in the beginning, and he just wrecks shop.
Clears it up.
He clears it up.
Yeah.
Cheech Marin, goodbye. All the guys in the beginning of the movie in that bar, goodbye. Basically, the flashback that Buscemi was telling them happened to them. And it's a great action scene of just the gun battles, the way that Banderas, I don't know if this is a style of acting, but he gives great sort of like right before you're gonna shoot acting, where he's just like holding the gun like, hey, don't do it. Like he's like his acting before he actually shoots is just funny because he's just and he's like, he doesn't shoot. He's just like holding it in front of him.
Enough that you say that, but when Bucho is in the establishment with Salma Hayek, I'm going a little forward, but he is getting the gun ready and he's trying to be quiet. His facial reactions and sound of it. Right. I'm like, yo, just shut the fuck up. Like, I get it though. He is very animated.
He's animated in this movie, and that's what really makes this character memorable too. Because even so he meets Salma Hayek, right? He saves her life. Because at the end of this gun battle, somebody's following him right after, and so she's walking by, and they make, which again, Salma Hayek's, her first scene in this movie is great because she's walking down the street, and then two cars collide, like looking at her.
That happens a lot in Washington Heights.
So great opening scene for her to establish her character. He saves her life, but then she sort of kind of saves his life. Because she's taking a bullet out of his arm. He got shot during the whole melee. Yeah.
Impressive, though, by the way.
Right.
From reading books that don't get sold in her bookstore.
She owns a cafe/bookstore ahead of her time. This is 95,
yeah,
96?
There's a spot 95. In the Bronx called Lip Bar, and that's what they do. It's a cafe/bookstore.
Yeah, I don't think this was as popular back then. Like these like combo bookstore cafes. Yeah. And she just happened to have it in the worst part. And she was like, nobody reads here, so, and so, but, it's definitely, it looked like a cool spot. And I think it was called Café con Libros. It's very, yeah. That's her Barnes and Nobles. So, and she's helping him out. And basically, he's like, Bucho? Tell me everything you know about Bucho. And she's like, oh, but he's a tough guy. You don't want to fuck with him. And he's like, I don't care. I do it. I got beautiful hair. I do what I want to do. And so, again, she lets him kind of stay there. But basically, Bucho finds out that, he pays a visit to her place. Banderas is hiding in the spot. But because of that sort of encounter, Bucho suspects that Antonio Banderas is hiding there.
Quick pause. Do you think Salma and Bucho hooked up?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah? Okay.
Bucho mentions it and she doesn't deny it. She's just like, let's not talk about it. Let's talk about something else.
That's old me.
That's old me.
I'm a virgin again.
Well, and Banderas gets mad at her because he finds out that she's kind of smuggling drugs in the bookstore, which is super smart on her part because nobody's buying books.
What's $50,000 in 1995?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because that's what she was saying. I get $50,000. I get to pay the rent. And then also save some money just in case.
And then he does his act. He's doing his acting with it. He doesn't have guns in this scene, but he's like, she's talking. He's like, no, I don't want to hear that.
Actually, a good question is also like, is technically this movie in modern times for that? Yeah, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it does say 1990s Mexico. Yeah. So you said what's $50,000 in the 1990s basically? Yeah. I'll tell you right now.
How many pesos?
Ooh, that's hard. Oh my God. Let's make it complicated for Eddin.
No, I like it.
How many pesos is that in 2025?
So technically in 1995, $50,000 right now would be actually equivalent to $106,000.
That's not bad, bro.
That's
just drop a couple of guitars and call it a day. Look the other way.
But unfortunately, all the money she makes is burned down because Bucho is like, he burns down her bookstore. He suspects that she's been hiding Banderas, and she is. And so, and, Banderas and Salma Hayek hook up, obviously. These two hot people were definitely bound to hook up eventually. So, again, we'll talk about their chemistry later, but like my TV was steaming. Like they have palpable chemistry.
I mean, they're both very hot.
They're both very hot. And they have an instant chemistry. And it's one of those things where it's like, man, these people should have hooked up for real. Like, I almost was like, I hope they hooked up behind the scenes as well.
There was like tongue. Like the love scene had tongue.
They're like laughing during the sex scenes, like they're having fun. I'm like, I like them together. I love this for you, Desperado.
Jamie's like, When is my turn, Lord? When is it my turn?
As a fellow Spaniard, when is it my turn?
When is it my turn, God?
So third act, finally Desperado / Banderas, he finally gets to see El Bucho and how he looks like. El Bucho turns around. He's on a rooftop, Desperado, and is about to shoot him. Once El Bucho turns around, he's like, whoa. He puts his gun down. What's up? Something stops him from killing him. Okay? Even Salma Hayek is like, yo, he just fucking blew up my store. What the fuck? And
no booty for you now.
Yeah, right.
Booty is closed.
By the way, that operation, the $50,000 you mentioned earlier, that does equate to 1.9 million Mexican pesos.
Wow.
in this timeline.
Yeah.
So Banderas gets his boys, Campa and Quino, or Campa and Quino. He just calls them up.
Like that's
Quino?
That's rice. What doesn't that?
Quinoa?
You mean quinoa, bro?
Quinoa.
Quinoa is hilarious.
Yeah.
Quinoa.
And so he calls him up, very quick convo. He's like, hey, I need you to come down here and bring the guitar cases. Because,
wink, wink.
Yeah, guitar cases, I didn't mention it. This movie has very high-tech guitar cases, right? Yeah. Banderas, his guitar case has a guitar, but it opens up and it has all his weapons and all his artillery. Same with his boys. So he calls his boys to help him out to kill Bucho once and for all. His boys, one dude has just his guitar case, instant bullets coming out of it. He didn't have to open it up. Yeah. And then the other guy got a missiles coming out of his guitar case.
I would have had a cello case.
Yeah.
That would have been more appropriate.
So I don't know if the guitar case technology has gotten even better since then.
Probably, yeah.
It may have stopped after this movie. I'm like, I don't think we could do anything else.
They got AI in it.
Yeah. So awesome third act, Robert Rodriguez style action scene. People die, people get run over, people get blown up. Finally, his boys die, but him and Salma Hayek go to Bucho's hideout, and we find out, hey, that's Bucho's his brother, his older brother. His older brother was behind killing the woman that he loved.
That's crazy.
Such a novella ass.
It's very
move,
novella,
by the way.
very telenovela.
Yeah.
And and the villain, look, the villain actually was very good in this movie. He's kind of like a Timu Gary Oldman. Let's keep it real. But he's good for this movie. Bucho's kind of like
Joaquim the Almeida.
Yeah, he's good actor,
Socks
but
in English.
Yeah,
and so they're like, brother, why this, that, boo boo, and it pretty much ends with him Bucho about, he's like, we're even if I get to kill Salma Hayek for betraying me, because she did lie to him, right? So he's like, I'm gonna kill her and then we good, right, bro? And Banderas does his thing where the guns come out of his sleeves.
Yeah.
Fwa. Kills his brother, fades to black. And the movie pretty much ends. There's a whole subplot with this little kid that got shot, so he goes to visit him at the end. Then he's pretty much breaking out. It looks like he's about to break out, and Salma Hayek is like, see, thanks for everything. Hope you had insurance.
As a father,
hope you had insurance on your fucking store that got destroyed. But
as a father, what's up with the parents of this kid? Like, he's learning how to play the guitar, but
he's selling drugs.
But
I mean, he gotta get by, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
We're talking about
better supervision.
We're talking about millions of pesos in here.
Facts.
I'm not. You're gonna be tight if your kid is out here Well, actually, he probably
he's out in these streets.
How would you feel if your brother did that to you?
What?
As far as having the beef with your brother,
again,
you have two older brothers.
El Bucho was trying to blame his henchmen. He was like, I didn't know they killed her. I mean, they're on my payroll, but I didn't know they killed her.
Yeah,
and they tell me every little detail.
At that point, it is in your hands, though, no matter what, even if it is your henchman. So you're to blame.
But they do ride out, both Banderas and Hayek ride off into the sunset together, which I liked. I liked that she came back, because it was like, she is good for him.
They're
he doesn't have to be a loner. They're actually good together. And there was a sequel with them together. So it worked out. But Desperado, it was a great introduction to Robert Rodriguez for people who didn't see Mariachi, and a lot of people didn't see that movie.
Yeah.
This was, and a great team up with Antonio Banderas, who I thought again, we have our conversations with him not being Mexican for real, but he works well with Robert Rodriguez. So.
And Robert's Mexican himself, so if he trusted to have Antonio Banderas as a Spaniard to play the role, then who are we?
Yeah, I'm also very certain that Robert Rodriguez was like, yo, this guy's kind of hot. We might have to have him.
He's hot. Antonio's hot. Let's put him in a little tanning machine.
The dude who played El Mariachi, like the OG, was in the movie too. Yeah,
he was one of his boys.
Yeah, he was one of his boys.
I think he was the one. He was the one who had the shot, the bullets coming out of him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he could have had him, but he's like not as hot. Not as hot.
But I like that he still was like, I got a job for you in this. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Not the lead, but you still get some moments.
Which is dope.
You get moments. Hey. You'll get SAG scale.
SAG rate.
Here's the check.
Because I still didn't get that much money for this movie. I got a little bit more.
Yeah. Did you guys have an unpopular opinion for this movie at all? I don't have any qualms personally, but...
Man, what's up with the anger issues? It was like, yet again, Latinos with anger issues. Like, yo, Antonio was mad, bro.
Yeah.
And then the same thing with Bucho. Bucho was super pissed. Everything was just because they had a bad temper.
And it's always amongst families somehow.
Even when he confronts Salma, he's just losing it. Like, relax.
Yeah.
Woosah a little bit there. That was my thing. I'm like, was it a trope back in the 90s of the villains always have to be super pissed? Like they blame their anger?
Especially with Latinos, it's like just like fiery and angry. And passionate lovers, but passionate enemies.
So that was my thing. I'm like, all right, I get it.
And the villains in those movies always like they have no remorse killing their own like employees.
Yeah.
To make a point. It's always like, can you, hey buddy, the guy I've known for 10 years, can you just move over here? Boom.
And it's just like, no. That was his thing. It's like, look, how hard is it, huh?
Yeah.
If you don't recognize someone, just shoot him. Who are you? Shoot him dead.
Or it's like he's testing the bulletproof glass. Oh, let me test it. Bam, bam, bam. The guy's like, yo, what the fuck?
But low key, that's kind of good. Because if you're telling me I'm supposed to trust this new limo that's bulletproof, why not? Boom, boom, just to fuck with it.
Out.
Yeah. He's like, if he dies, are you going to get upset if he died? Then it didn't work.
But also, it's like, I'm the godfather to your son. Like, why the fuck are you shooting at me? Like, you don't know they have a close relationship before this, but he doesn't care. He's just like, to make a point, I'm going to shoot. I don't know if he was the godfather to his son. You're looking at me like that was a plot point that I missed. I'm just saying, like, he might be close to these guys, but he doesn't have any.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
You don't want to get caught up. Bro, imagine you take a bullet right there and then you're like, I should have tested it. It's like, come on. I had that moment right there.
This is not an unpopular opinion, but this was kind of a little. Notice how. So that bar is a cover up. Right?
Yes.
And they purposely sold shitty beer. Remember when they were coming in and then that girl was complaining, like the customer service? Yeah. Have you ever encountered that in your life in New York?
Are you talking about like fronts?
Yeah, fronts.
There's like, damn, I don't want to be snitching.
No, don't snitch.
But yes, there's fronts. There's like food places I'll see. I just visited a spot nearby my crib that they sold like it was called Sweets and Cakes or something like that, and it's just like a hole in the wall that has random ass cookies. Like
what's the address?
And an AI generated menu and everything. And I'm just like, I don't know what they trying to hide here, but this ain't no real bakery.
I've been to a bodega that was a drug front.
Oh, for sure.
My cousin was just like, let's walk to the local bodega, and then he just did some shit in the back, and I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, like a bodega.
Like a bodega.
Every bodega to me is low-key a drug front.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like there's way too many crepes places opening up in my neighborhood. I'm like, half of these are drug fronts.
The spot I just told you was like that too.
Why are crepes so popular like in urban neighborhoods now?
Well, first of all, Jamie, crepes are delicious. But outside of that,
that's true. But you need to get together and be like, yo, if we're gonna do a drug front, what's hot? Oh, crepes.
There's three within like a 5-block radius. There's like 3 or 4, and I'm like, they can't be that popular.
But that was my thing. That's what I got out of that part where they were like in Quentin, Tarantino's scene there. They were like, this beer is really shitty. You know what I mean? And he goes on the whole monologue thing. But I'm like, it had me thinking. I'm like, in New York, there's got to be spots that are purposely not popular. They're really shitty to be the front. If it's too lit, then you get too much heat.
There'd be gyro places. That's what I was gonna say.
But the irony, though, like I've lived in my neighborhood so long, is like I remember, like if I'm showing somebody in my neighborhood, I'm like, that legal drug spot used to be an illegal drug spot. It's like, yo, shit has really changed.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna shout this out. Back in the day in Washington Heights on 175th and Broadway, there was like a showroom. Like they had like designer clothes. 15 years, never saw one customer in that spot.
Yeah,
I'm like, yo, come on now. How are you going to keep up? Broadway, 175th, that's expensive.
You didn't walk in there for the plot?
Nah, but we always had the same narrative, every time, same talk. Like, that's got to be a drug spot. It's just nobody in there.
And the drug dealers now have merch, like their stickers, right?
Yeah, they gotta go the whole nine. It's the reality of it. Is you gotta go the whole nine.
People be like, "Yo, you got that T-shirt? Yeah, my drug dealer."
Yeah, you got the socials and everything ready. A QR code.
He had a Black Friday sale.
Look, I ain't gonna knock your hustle. It's just like you be seeing that shit, and you're like, what's going on here? It's too empty.
Of course. So that's what had me thinking in that part. Yeah. The whole Cheech Marin and the bar.
Quick unpopular opinion for me. Danny Trejo's in this.
Yes.
I would have liked to see that character. You know, he's a guy who's throwing a lot of like knives, which is like his thing, I guess.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see him and Banderas actually
do something together.
Yeah, like hook up.
That's too hot.
Forget Salma Hayek. I wanted them to
that aura and that face. Oh.
I'm shipping Banderas and Trejo.
Yeah.
No, but it was like it sets up this action scene where like Trejo's like throwing stuff, ninja stars or some shit at Mexican stars or something at Banderas, and Banderas is like, and I wanted them to actually fight, and I wanted Banderas to be the one to shoot him.
Yeah.
But the other guys, Bucho's henchmen kill Trejo. Yeah. So it's kind of a waste of a showdown. Like that would have been a good like confrontation.
Yeah.
I think yes in hindsight. Because we don't know that at 1995 that Trejo is gonna become Machete.
That's
true.
Or own like a chain of taco stores
Trejo's
on the West Coast.
Yes.
Right.
I actually visited that. I didn't buy a single thing. I walked in. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then
you just left? Wow.
I didn't really want Trejo's tacos, dude.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's what but I get what you mean, though. Because in hindsight, yes, those two together, that would have been incredible. Like, we still have a chance. Everyone's in their old age now. I could imagine that Rodriguez could probably get something cooked up together.
Yeah. That would be Desperado.
Love it. Which, by the way, this movie, they did have a budget of $7 million, and then they did get to gross about a little over $25 million from this movie. So that's kind of cool. I don't have an unpopular opinion, but I do want to put the MVP for being Robert Rodriguez for being able to do, because I read his book and all that, being able to transform El Mariachi to Desperado and then to his whole scheme of movies for years to come. Like, it was dope. It was really cool. I think a big one for me, especially for MVP, is the practical effects, because that was a huge one for him when it came to El Mariachi as well. Be able to use, I don't know if you guys know what a squib is, but a squib is essentially just like, for the people that don't know at home, it's just like a little piece that can blow up on your body and it's not harmful to you, but then you could get like splattered blood out of it.
Okay.
Doing things like that. Exactly. Yeah, like doing stuff like that, or like you said, like the guitar case, right? A lot of that is practical effects. Like they built that stuff, even though they maybe could add like stronger flares and stuff from the bullets in post production. A lot of those practical effects is what really like sells a movie like Desperado and the scheme of El Mariachi being part of it.
Mm-hmm. If I was Banderas though, like. The thing where the case, it shows the guitar first and then it slowly opens up, I would have fixed that. Yeah. Because it got him into a lot of trouble where it was like, people were like, oh, it's just a guitar case. Cool, bro. And then 2 seconds later, like, could you maybe not make it do that? Like, just like show the guitar and just have a combination to open up the weapons part of it. I just think that was like, that got him into like trouble like twice in the movie.
What about, do you have an MVP by any chance?
Oh my gosh, Salma Hayek. She's so ahead of her time.
Yeah.
She read one of the books that never were bought and knew how to take out the bullets.
Smart.
I like how they incorporated stitches. And then she did the stitches, and then she's like, look, you were moving around too much, so it weren't straight. And then she had her bookstore, like you were just saying, like what, Café and Libros?
Café and Libros.
Very forward thinking. Like, and then she had the mind as a businesswoman, be like, I paid the bills and then I put money aside in case I gotta flee. So I had to give her the MVP, and then she created a balance, and the chemistry was great. Like Salma Hayek and J-Lo were my first two like Latina crushes, but it was just great, and I give her the MVP.
Even though she was very popular with a lot of telenovelas, this was technically, for a lot of people, her breakout role into Hollywood. So, I don't blame you.
Jamie, you used to watch her novelas, right? Which was one of your favorite novelas.
Yeah.
From
Did you always watch
Salma Hayek and her novelas?
Salma novelas?
Oh, yeah.
Just
Was it
asking.
Las Mujeres de...
Libros?
Café con Libros.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. Do you have an MVP?
I mean, I think it's just the chemistry between Banderas and Hayek.
Oh yeah, that's hot.
Like they're hot. Even when they walk away from the explosion. Like they just have this palpable thing. Like I just want to watch them. And you know, like I said, you know,
did you watch that scene in 0.5?
Oh my gosh!
Even the sex scene, like they look like they're having fun, having sex. It looks like they have sexual.
They're not really having sex,
right? But they have sexual.
Like,
all right,
God,
whatever.
when is it my turn?
But
God.
this is before sort of
intimacy
coordinators, and they're just like
because of this movie.
Yeah, I think intimacy. I think if this was done now, the intimacy coordinator would be like, maybe I should like leave the room.
Yeah.
Because these people
I'm
already know.
off. I can go home now.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So, they're in their prime. We did Zorro, and I think we were talking about like who has more chemistry, like him and Catherine Zeta or him and Salma. I've seen this movie, and I'm like, the heat of this movie is.
Definitely
this is
Salma.
This is why like he didn't just walk out of the movie by himself. She came back because I think Raul Rodriguez was like, no, they're good together.
Yeah.
And we want to keep them together if we do a sequel. And they did do a sequel. Shout out, Once Upon a Time in Mexico, the sequel. But they're good together. And so this movie really reminded me that I already like both of them.
Yeah. Oh, what about Imposter for this week?
I know he's Portuguese. Bucho, I don't know. I just felt
it's gonna be the same for me.
Because we've had films that are not like, Latino, but Portuguese technically is considered Latino.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I didn't
I like his voice.
You just didn't like his character.
He has a scary voice.
And Bucho does that. Well, that actor does.
I can't even do that voice. That voice makes me,
It's raspy.
Yeah, raspy.
He's my brother.
Yeah.
Brother, I want Salma.
I think that's probably where it's more impossible for me. Is that funny enough to how much for MVP for you is the relationship between Salma and Antonio. It's the relationship between Antonio and Bucho. I feel like I don't see that brotherly connection in any sense. Not even like visually, because Antonio Banderas is so fucking hot.
He is
but
hot.
like seeing that, I didn't believe it. No. I didn't believe it, but I was like, cool. This is the plot. I'm not gonna be mad about it. Yeah. I'll turn my brain off for that case. Do you guys have any other gripes or anything before we get to the PPS?
I think the horses are gonna needed therapy after this movie. There was a lot of gunshots where the horses were like,
Yeah.
The villain was just so they might. If there's any horse therapists, they probably were just like, having to share that.
We are gonna have to call PETA after this one.
PETA, yeah.
Let's get into the PPS for the PAPI point system for this week, which is again the PPS is where we rate the movie 1 through 5, give it our own little flair for this. And I want to start off really quick in giving this I want to do a 3.5, but I kind of more really want to do a 3.8. But I'm gonna stick to the 3.5 guitar cases for this movie. Again, the fact that this came off from a very frugal, let's say, canon event for Robert Rodriguez's film career, I think this movie did really well. I did very much exceptionally like Antonio Banderas' and Salma Hayek's relationship. And it's a simple movie. It's a very simple movie, a lot of action, a lot of Robert Rodriguez loves. And if there's something that, if you want to watch all these Spy Kids and the Machetes, and you want to figure out how the hell this all really, really, really started in a Hollywood realm, start here. That's for me. What about you, Mr.?
I'm going to give it 3.3 pissy beers.
Great.
I enjoyed it, but you know what? My ADHD mind right now, like that whole monologue, all that stuff, kind of, and there was some random, just dialogue and stuff that I didn't feel like it was really focused.
Yeah.
I'm nitpicking, but I'm just saying it was one of those type of films that back in the day I really, really enjoyed, but looking at it in present time, got distracted with some of the stuff, like even with Quentin Tarantino, like his dialogue and all that. Like I'm like, let's just get to it. Let's get to the action. So I'm a little bit more critical based on like there's been movies that I've watched in the past. I'm like, yo, this is caca, but this, and then it's better now is my version of who I am now. I feel like a little bit, you could have cut the fat a little bit and still got the action, some of the stuff. So I'm going to give it 3.3 pissy beers.
Wow.
Mr. Fernandez?
You guys were a lot lower on this than that. I'm giving it 4.2.
4.2?
4.2.
What world are we living in right now, bro?
4.2.
No montages. Fucking get it out.
The fuck?
There's no montages.
No, okay, but what I'm doing with the 4.2 is a performance. So
okay.
4.2. Let's plays. Okay, because that was an iconic scene, or it could be like 4.2. No, not yet.
Yeah,
but either way, it's Antonio overacting.
Come on.
In a great way though. Okay. Some overacting is great. This is perfect. This is a perfect encapsulation of Robert Rodriguez. If I'm gonna tell people to watch a Robert Rodriguez movie, I'm gonna be like, start with Desperado and then move your way up to maybe, Sin City, Faculty. This is the movie that I would say, and it is simple, but sometimes simple's good. Simple fucking feels good.
Yeah,
I saw it. I didn't feel any fat on this, right? And I know the Tarantino scene notwithstanding, we could have like cut that down, and his acting is his acting, but. Other than that, to me, it moved. The action just kept going, and I love the action scenes. And I thought the main character work was between Antonio and Salma. The villain, that's where I might take points off. I don't think he was the best villain, but he had his moments. And yeah, this is what I want to see in a Robert Rodriguez movie.
4.2.
And I wish I had the gun, where he's able to have the guns pop out of his shirt sleeves.
Yeah.
I would love that in the New York subway. Just, you know what I mean? Just kind of be like, whenever you need it, just be like, oh, hold on for a second, crazy person. And then, what did he say now? Huh?
Why is water coming out of that?
Jamie wants to make her streets even more dangerous, which is insane.
Thank you, Robert, for the inspiration.
Wow. But yeah, I don't know. You guys didn't like it. You gave it a 3? You giving it in the 3s?
Yeah, we are.
Wow. It's cool. Sorry, Robert Rodriguez.
I enjoyed it. I wasn't like...
Me too.
Funny enough, even though we'll talk about maybe in the future, I like El Mariachi a lot more.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd have to rewatch that one.
Yeah. For a lot of different reasons. Okay. Well, you guys already know the deal. Make sure you go down below into the comments in any way you're watching this and let us know what you're giving this movie for your PPS system. And let us know for the future what you want us to watch.
Yes.
So we can officially review your favorite movies as the Cine Papis. And make sure you check us out every single Monday. Eddin Martinez, Jaime Fernandez, Juan Bago, your Cine Papis every single Monday. And we will catch you next time.
Cine Papis.